Y'all see this comment? I'm not going to read it. I just want y'all to read it. Okay? And before we make any judgments, okay, I want you to think about why a black woman would say that. Now, we can say it's not all. We can say we got some good ones in our family. But when you start seeing comments like this, you start to realize the severity of the situation in our community. When you look at the femicide rates, when you look at the fact that you can't even reject a man in our community without worrying about if you're going to be a hashtag, when you think about the constant disrespect online, when you think about how unprotected we are in our own community, all the vitriol that a lot of the men in our community has spewed towards us over the past 40, 50, 60 generations, it's coming back to you. There have been many sisters that I've heard say this very same thing. She is not the only one. The question is simply, can you blame her? And for the brothers that may feel some type of way about this comment, what are you gonna do to fix it? A lot of sisters are gonna start pulling back completely.
Yo, is it just me, or does it sound as if she's blaming all of us black men for all of these problems? She brought up femicide and making it seem like it's a black man thing only. But we see it's worse in Asia and Africa before the Americas. About 7,500 across South Central and North America. Let's look at homicides. Worldwide, men make up 80% of all homies. This is not to say we got it worse, but we all deal with a possible threat of danger in this world. For her to say it's just a black thing is asinine. The battle between genders is blatantly shown by how women reacted to Kevin Samuels' death, Andrew Tate being arrested, and Tory Lanez losing in court. And from those things, along with the recent passport bro controversy, they throw in a lot of shade. And once again, it's all black men's fault. And we need to make it right while they sit up like perfect angels. That's some bullshit.
This is bullshit.
I am convinced that men are delusional, like intentionally delusional though. I was having a conversation with my cousin. Basically, I asked him, did he have a community look around? And he was like, what's that? And I was like, a moment where you sit in your car or you sit in the place where you are and you like scan the room just to make sure that it's safe. And he literally stopped talking, stopped walking, and looked at me in the eye and was like, are you really this paranoid? Like, have you been through something? Like, why would you do that? And I was like, are you serious? Women, especially black women, disappear every 30 seconds in America. You aren't cautious? You aren't aware? Yeah, when I pull up to a new spot, I literally sit there for a minute and I just look around. I be listening. I be paying attention. I'm peeping the scene. I'm making sure that no one behind me that shouldn't be behind me. And he was like so baffled by this. And I'm like, why do y'all not pay attention to this stuff? Like, but I guess when you're the predator, you don't ever have to worry about prey things. Like when you're the prey, you be thinking about, oh my God, is there a predator here? Is this a safe place for me to drink water? Is there going to be some type of moment where I need to defend myself or I need to flee? Like, I just don't get how y'all have mothers and sisters and girlfriends and wives and friends and daughters and nieces, and you don't even think about or know about how unsafe it is for women in this country and all over the world. That's why we go to the bathroom together. That's why we do things as a group, because y'all really crazy. I've had boyfriends follow me home. I've had exes show up at my job. I've been followed. I've been cursed out for rejecting a date. It's common. It's very common. And y'all need to wake up and come into the real world.
So the first thing I heard was men are intentionally delusional. Look, Miss Wakanda Forever, I looked up if women were abducted every 30 seconds, and that's a farce. I did find that children were abducted every 40 seconds. So you didn't survive the fact check. And if men were kidnapped like how women are, yes, we will be observant of our surroundings as you are. And for us who have daughters, are you saying we're not protective? That would be a farce. The thing that got me in this clip was the straight up and down calling us the predator. It's always the broad strokes making all men into a demon. People are on edge in this country, period. You could get shot at church, the movie theater, school, a nightclub, supermarkets, in the mall. It's nowhere safe. For the men not partaking, guess what? We suspects at large, according to these chicks. It's bullshit.
This is bullshit. I just really want black women to wake up and realize that black men at large, not all, but at large, majority of them do not have your best interest. They don't like you, they don't respect you, and they don't value you. So, I mean, sadly to say, but you kind of got to look at black men like the ops, because so many black men just don't dislike black women. They have that disdain. So, as long as you continue to look at every black man like a brother and a friend or whoever, you will continue to be disrespected, neglected, and you could possibly be hurt, because we all know the black femicide rate is at its highest right now.
I'm going to be completely honest with y'all, okay? And I don't know if this was my own ignorance or what, but until like the past 5 years, I did not realize how many black men hate black women. And of course, this is a sum, not all, and I'm not even going to say the majority, but it is a pretty significant number. And of course, as a mental health care provider, I know a lot of this stems from trauma, possibly with their mother or another female in the past, or maybe they had an emotionally incestuous relationship with their mother, and that's why they have these perspectives. But whatever the case may be, it is disturbing. It is a black woman's fault that she is a single mom, even though it is the man who left. It is a black woman's fault that she has to be independent, even though the men around her were not being supportive. And yes, of course, women have to take accountability for the people that they allow in their life and the decisions that they make. But at what point do we begin holding men accountable? At what point do we say, hey, men, do better?
Oh, man, here we go.
Story time. So I got married at the age of 19 and my husband was in the military. And one of the things I noticed was women across the board was unhappy in their marriages. I'm talking about Indian women, Asian women, African women, Haitian women, Jamaican women. It seemed like the only time we was happy was when the men were gone in the field. And me being neurodivergent, I just noticed stuff, patterns, and I couldn't figure out why were so many women miserable in these marriages, right? I mean, we took trips together, we spent a lot of time traveling, being in sisterhood, but it seemed like as soon as the men came back that we would be married, we would be miserable. And I questioned myself, I said, why are we experiencing so many emotional hardships if we're married, right? I thought the whole idea was to be loyal to a man and to give him babies, and you would be rewarded for it. But when I was in the military, I saw the exact opposite. I said to myself after receiving this information that men across the board are the biggest threat to children and women. In addition to that realization that men are the biggest threat to children and women, I took my mental health seriously. I lost 100 pounds. I prioritized my mental health and my health. I went to school. I got those degrees. I created a family constitution. I started conscious parenting my children. I prioritized my children and my family. And I really just started to be in my feminine. Let's just call it that. I also began to embrace my anger towards men. And I stopped centering men. And when I tell you I have never felt more empowered by ignoring a man, pretending they don't exist, I have never felt more empowered. I started embracing sisterhood and understanding that we are greater together than we are divided. In fact, I just started calling men out when I saw it. And when I tell you that women do not like that, because men are their most prized possession, I realized that I was pissing off women. Right? Because women feel like men should not be toyed with. you can't say anything to a man. So I continued to do that.
This is the classic example of a black woman falling for the narratives of misandry and feminism. She reminds me of the Black Lives Matter manifesto in the flesh. You know, the part that wants to disrupt the nuclear family instead for extended families and villages. You know, the manifesto that ended up being removed a short time after. I mean, this woman here did not hold back her disdain for black men one iota. It's crazy because I believe most black men don't hate black women. We wish it was some way to work it out with our women. But women like this is the reason you say fuck that. This the behavior sound-minded black women need to be checking if they want to fight and chance with us. Because black men little by little are deciding to check out whether Save Yourself Black Men, the Passport Bros, or BMGTOW. Black men are going our own way.